Find a lawyer
Now,
that doesn't tell you
got-
sound like an idiot. Make another point.
Is that all you got? That I sound like an idiot? Is that all you got?
I'm waiting. No, it's not all I got. You don't understand the law. You don't understand what their decision was. You don't understand what they did.
Of course I don't understand.
Listen, you're not going to...
You gonna let me talk at least a little, or just gonna babble?
You've talked
if you
most
babble,
of the time.
Go babble.
Go ahead. Listen, it's my show. If I want to babble, I'll babble. I'm giving you time on it, so make something of it.
So it's impossible to get through with you. It's impossible. All right?
I'm letting you do it. Go ahead.
Now,
go ahead.
If you looked at... really, it's impossible. This is ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. If you look at Trump's speech,
Bill.
and I'm not a spokesman for Trump, remain in Mexico. Very specific. All right? Very specific. I had nothing to do with 2025. Very specific. I don't want to cut Medicare and Social Security. Very specific.
So this debate is hilarious. Chris Cuomo hasn't changed a bit since he got fired from CNN, and Bill O'Reilly is about to drop truth bombs all over Chris Cuomo on his own TV show live. And we love it on this channel when these woke talking heads are forced to face the truth because you can see the pain on their face. And that's what Chris Cuomo has to experience in this one. I really enjoyed it. I know you guys will too. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Bill O'Reilly joins us now, a student of history, of political conventions, and of moments just like this. Bill, thank you for joining me. It's good to witness history with you. What do you make of the moment Kamala Harris had tonight?
Well, if I'm a political science professor and she submitted that speech for an exam, I would give her a C, as in cat. And the reason I would give her that low grade is because there were no specifics in the speech, none. No problem solving, no creative look at very complex situations, just the usual liberal Democratic line. And of course, it was well received at the Democratic convention. And that's a problem with both parties. They say stuff that isn't true, and I'll run down a number of things that the vice president said that absolutely false. And Republicans and Trump do it too. And the American people are subjected to it. Some of us know the truth and others don't. So anyway, let's get to it. So I agree with Kamala Harris that her story could not be acted out any other country in the world. She's right about that. Her story, my story, no way this happens anywhere but America. And I'm glad that we heard USA Today. We saw the American flags, and I'm glad that the vice president made patriotism front and center. Okay. All we hear about is that Kamala Harris is going to take on the big banks, big pharma, price gouging. She's going to take them on. I did not know until this evening that she took on the Mexican cartels. How? What was the result? We don't know. And I'll be so bold to say there was no result.
What she meant was she took on all the people that the Mexican cartel trafficked into the United States, gave them work visas, and granted them asylum. That's what she means by she took them on.
Whatever she did was meaningless. But she's taking them on. She's fighting. We have to fight. Fight for what? Oh, the middle class. We have to fight for it. Well, the New York Times reports today that Kamala Harris wants to raise taxes $5 trillion. That's going to devastate the middle class as companies pass the cost on. Any economist knows that. So this is what I mean when I give her the C grade, Cuomo.
Bill. A C is average. There is nothing about Kamala Harris that says that she is average at all. Her work history, her policies, her experience, the fact that she still hasn't got anyone in America to vote for her, it's never happened. I mean, that's an F, dude. D- at best, but really that's just straight up F. She hasn't proven anything.
You can say anything.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, look.
But you need to back it
understood.
up. She can't.
Understood. But a convention
back it
speech,
up.
a convention speech is not known for its specifics. Let's not this isn't a political science class. This is politics. And this is about capturing the imagination.
If she wants to be president.
But Bill, it does.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not giving her a pass, Cuomo. She wants power. She wants to be president. She doesn't do press. She doesn't answer questions. She doesn't say specifics about how she's going to problem solve. Not giving her a pass. This is the biggest address she'll ever get.
I understand.
It goes worldwide.
I understand.
Good.
I understand, but that part's not accurate. You don't make your entire case for why you should be president the night that you're nominated. And if that is the bar, you've never watched a president pass in your life. So don't create an artificial standard out of convenience. This was about capturing her base, pleasing her convention, and giving them something that you completely discount, which is reason for hope and to capture their imagination. And if you don't think that matters in politics, it explains why you're a journalist and never ran for office. But I'm telling you, as someone who's been on both sides, if your people don't believe in you, and if you don't capture their imagination the way Trump has, the way Harris has to, then you're a loser at the start.
You can do both, Cuomo, and you know it. Don't give me any of this. It's
not
a
in one
convention
speech, not at a nominating convention.
I'm sorry. As an American citizen, I'm insulted by politicians who launch BS and say stuff like Donald Trump wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. That's a lie. The Supreme Court wiped out reproductive freedom. That's a lie. Okay? I don't want to be lied to, Cuomo. I don't care where it is. I don't want to be lied to. Am I unreasonable?
Well, if you don't want to be lied to, then you would have to say that you've been lied to by every president you've ever heard give any address like this. And it is not a lie that the Supreme Court removed a right. They absolutely did, and they gave it to the states. You're not a lawyer. You don't understand it, obviously.
They kicked it back to the states.
They removed a law. They vacated a decision, and they gave it to the states to decide. They removed a national standard, and you know it.
No, baloney. They kicked it back to the state. If you got a beef,
they removed it and kicked it back.
California, New York, you can have whatever you want.
They removed it and kicked it back. You had to remove it to kick it back
to the state.
No. They vacated a decision.
You can
they called it
with
bad
it
law after
every
one of the judges said that it was stare decisis, that it was settled law. They then went back on that. They vacated it, and they gave it to the states to decide. You can't do that as a legal mechanism without removing the right. Without removing the initial right.
Let's remove the Supreme Court then.
Now, that's absurd.
The Supreme Court.
That's an absurd statement.
That is our system.
What else did you see tonight?
No, it's not.
Bill,
You're
leave it
absurd.
alone. You're losing.
You're absurd by
You're losing
saying
the point.
They removed the law. They kicked the law back to the states.
Find a lawyer that doesn't tell you sound like an idiot. Make another point.
Is that all you got? That I sound like an idiot? Is that all you got?
I'm waiting. No, it's not all I got. You don't understand the law. You don't understand what their decision was. You don't understand what they did.
Of course I don't understand.
Listen, you're not going to listen to the truth. You're not going to listen to the rationale because you don't like it. You sound foolish. Now make another point. I'm giving you more time.
Okay.
Bill, why would you expect more from Chris Cuomo? Don't you know anything about his history? I mean, come on, dude, especially when it comes to Donald Trump and his Trump derangement syndrome.
Cuomo, what I stated is absolutely true. The ruling kicked the abortion back to the states. I'm not wrong. And that's what Schumer wants to do. It's what Biden wants to do. It's what Harris wants to do, pack the court so it becomes a political body. not based on
First of all, that's
what
Trump
the justices
did.
decided.
Trump
let's
did.
wipe
That's
it
what
out.
Trump did by winning
let's
the
go,
election.
let's go.
Trump won the election. He got to pick his judges, and they did exactly what they pledged not to do. To take something that they said was settled law,
just like every other president. That's our system.
I'm not blaming.
Like
I'm not blaming Trump.
President.
I'm not blaming Trump.
Right,
See,
look,
this is
move
a
it
really
along.
weak rhetorical device. I'm just saying one simple thing. You can't take a federal standard, right, and then give it to the states without removing the federal standard. You have to do that, Bill. That's how it works. That's what they did. That's why people are upset.
Yeah.
And that's why over 2 out of 3 Americans don't agree with Trump that everybody wanted Roe v. Wade gone. I don't know who told them that, but it's absurd. What else you got for the audience,
That's a fallacious statement. All right. That's the first true thing you've said. That's a fallacious statement that everybody wanted Roe v. Wade repealed. That's not true. All right. Now,
I know.
When you have a Democratic nominee for president saying, quote, I confronted threats to our national security, which is what she said. You don't feel she has a responsibility to back that up at all? What? What are you talking about? She threw out one after the other with no backup.
Yeah.
No backup at all.
Yeah,
Yet you excuse it
I don't think
as
there
some
is backup.
exercise in a big party. Baloney. She's a responsibility.
No, I don't excuse it. I'm saying
voting for
that you're
woman
holding her
at this
to a
point,
standard.
Come on.
What? Come on. Then nobody would vote for Trump.
Her to my
then nobody
standard.
would have voted for Bush. Then nobody would have voted for Obama. This is a nonsense standard. The idea that if you don't give specifics of what you're going to do, then you failed, then you should have said that every time you've heard Trump speak. That you should have said it every time you hear every president speak. That's what I'm saying. It's just, it's a silly standard.
I'm not
this is
in
a
business
nominating
to
convention.
You don't let me talk at least a little, or just going to babble?
You've talked
if you
most
babble,
of the time.
Go babble.
Go ahead. Listen, it's my show. If I want to babble, I'll babble. I'm giving you time on it, so make something of it.
Mm-hmm. So it's impossible to get through with you. It's impossible.
I'm letting you do it. Go ahead.
Now,
go ahead.
If you looked at, really, it's impossible. This is ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous. If you look at Trump's speech,
Bill.
and I'm not a spokesman for Trump, remain in Mexico, very specific, all right? Very specific. I had nothing to do with 2025, very specific. I don't want to cut Medicare and Social Security, very specific. Doesn't matter what Trump said, even though he was specific. In other areas, he wasn't. He says, in 48 hours, I'll stop the Ukraine war. How? He doesn't say. So he did what Harris did. But he did provide specifics because he was in office 4 years and he was successful driving the economy and keeping the overseas stuff pretty much contained. So he went back to that. Look at his speech, compare it to this. This has no specifics, but you excuse it because she's in party mode. Boom. We're Americans.
Look,
we're at a very serious point in our history. Very serious point. We need problem solvers. This woman won't answer a question from any journalist. That alone tells you what her capacity is.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. She should be doing interviews. I wouldn't call her this woman. I'd call her vice president, say her name. Sounds less disrespectful. But he said he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. Maybe because he does. Well, look, saying that this woman, I don't know that you'd like anybody talking about your kid that way. What I'm saying is, Project...
What you're saying there is, how dare Bill O'Reilly assume her gender, right?
is... Project 2025, he says he doesn't know anything about it. He was on a plane with one of its main people celebrating the project. So I don't...
Are you sure you want to associate guilt with riding on a jet with another person? Just saying.
Project. So I don't know. I also don't think it's a boogeyman. And I don't think Project... But the fact that he says he repudiates it means nothing. Why would you believe what he says?
Oh, that's right.
Why would you believe what he says?
It's not a matter of what I,
mean, come on, Bill.
believe.
You're not.
She says.
Oh, so if he says it, then it's true.
Not a matter
so
of what
if he
I
says
believe.
It, it's true.
No.
Oh.
She says this
right.
is his manifesto.
Bill.
There's no evidence of that at all. None.
There's no evidence of it. Most of the people involved in it were part of his administration or his advisor group. And again, I don't think it's a boogeyman. I don't think the Democrats win by scaring people about Project 2025. That's their choice. I'm just telling you the idea that he has no connection to it, that it's just...
And just like that, Bill O'Reilly was done talking to Chris Cuomo. And before you go, let me just show you this real quick from Kamala Harris's website, her official website here. It asks you for money again, of course, once you clear that page out. But look, meet Kamala Harris, meet Tim Walz, take action, and store. She wants to sell you a coffee cup. So, I mean, she has no policies on her website. We're 2.5 months, we're 2 months away from the election, essentially. And she has no policies on paper. So, Chris Cuomo's wrong right there. They're going to try to win on fear-mongering. Project 2025 is a fear-monger tactic. Anybody that I've ever heard talk about Project 2025, any Democrat at least, is so scared. They were so scared and they kept bringing it up that I had to actually go look into it and learn for myself. The reason that I hadn't heard about it is because it's just that. It's nonsense. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump's platform, and Donald Trump himself has denounced it. So if you're a Democrat scared of Project 2025, Donald Trump has already said that he has nothing to do with it. It's not even worth his time reading, and it's kind of just something that he shrugs off because it makes no sense to him to even pay attention to it because it's not a part of his platform. And if you want to know the platform that Donald Trump is supporting, you can go to his official website, donaldjtrump.com, click on his platform, and read about Agenda 47. There's a lot of bullet points here, and you can read through them yourself. And I can already hear the Democrats' official critique saying, oh, well, those are just bullet points. What is he going to do? I want an in-depth explanation. Well, no football coach is going to let you actually look at the playbook. So, you know what? This is way more than what Kamala Harris has on her website. And that says a lot right there. That says enough to me right there. And this is not Project 2025. This is Agenda 47, the platform that Donald Trump actually supports and is running on. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this video if you got a kick out of it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.